Chapter 18, Once Upon a Time. Deputy marshals warned me early on that most who entered the witness security program could not survive the isolation, could not perpetrate the lies. Typically, participants lasted 2 years before they voluntarily re-entered the world and live exposed. As an informant and a Vago, I had an identity. I was either a good guy or a badass. My costumes generated respect and fear, sometimes a mixture of both. I slipped effortlessly between my two personas, and in off hours I dissolved into myself. But in the WSP, I was no one. Strangely, the lying bothered me the most, even though I had been deceptive about my life since I was 19 years old. First as a drug dealer, then as an informant, and now as a completely revised person. I never imagined that lying could be so stressful. In the WSP, I survived. I didn't live exactly. In the end, I really lied only about why I relocated from Southern California to Virginia. The rest was the truth. I had legally changed my name to Charles. I was a college graduate. I did leave Southern California to start anew in Virginia. I stayed as close to the truth as possible, but disclosing only limited information made it difficult to form friendships, and I realized that I had unwittingly entered another kind of prison with new rules and codes of conduct. I was not free, and I never would be. Nightmares invaded my sleep. Bernard's shadow loomed over my bed. I felt his presence like eyes watching me, far ahead of me, controlling me. I still had no idea whether he had paid someone to end my life. The unknown was more unsettling than the known. At least if I knew I had a chance, I could prepare. In limbo, I had real fear, even in the program. And it wasn't just Bernard's darkness I felt. The Vagos, too, filled my room with a heaviness. Church became my peace. I found energy in its walls. And though I told no one at first that I participated in the WSP or had infiltrated the Vagos, I did confide in my pastor. He felt safe, like a conduit to God. The pastor absorbed my secrets, absolved my darkness, and slowly gave me permission to exhale. It took a year for the nightmares to dissipate. Simple tasks like purchasing groceries sometimes made my hands shake and my heart race. If the cashier frowned or cleared his throat or looked at me sideways, familiar rage bubbled to the surface. I wanted to punch him for no reason, to react on raw impulse. I felt like a soldier returning from war, and I imagined I experienced similar post-traumatic stress. I had trouble dating. I wore a costume and a mask, and mostly listened to the pretty fixtures across the table. Watched their delicate hands lift wine glasses to their lips, push food around their plates with shiny forks. But then one night I had dinner with Monet, and I knew I was in trouble. The last woman I had let into my circle nearly had killed me. But Monet presented a lesson in trust. Strikingly pretty, reserved, and intelligent, she tested my commitment to the program. I had to let my guard down to believe she would protect me. Slowly, I let her into my world. In early December 2007, I received word that Twist's murder trial was scheduled to begin. I had been in the witness security program for 7 months. Deputy marshals made arrangements for me to fly from Virginia to Los Angeles. They booked multiple planes, routed through various cities across the United States so that no one could track my movements. When I finally landed at LAX, several deputy marshals ushered me into a nondescript Suburban, sandwiched between a convoy. For the briefest of moments, I felt what a celebrity must, only my paparazzi were dark snipers hidden in the courthouse towers or abandoned buildings, waiting to put a bullet in my brain. I thought of the Vagos, who had military and special ops training, and my heart pounded. Murdering an informant would put a notch in their belt. But I was well protected. The Suburban had bulletproof glass, and I was surrounded by U.S. Marshals and ATF agents. At the federal courthouse, I followed several deputies through the judge's secure entrance to the underground rooms beneath the jail. Mine, similar to a hotel suite, had no windows, no phone, just a speaker button I could push when I needed to communicate. Kaz supplied me with a bottle of cold water and wished me luck. After giving me preliminary instructions, the doors closed and I sank, exhausted, into plush blue sofa cushions. Time passed slowly while I waited for my turn to testify. I had no reservations about betraying Twist. In fact, I felt relief. Because of me, a violent sociopath would finally be removed from the community. Twist killed like a machine, indiscriminately, impulsively, and left a trail of human debris. It would feel good to nail his coffin. People warned me that I might feel conflicted when I testified, might hesitate to turn against a friend, someone who respected and vouched for me. But I had no regret, no remorse. I had conviction. Neither Twist nor the Vagos loved me or each other. They loved the idea of me and their brotherhood. Rhino testified in his jail clothes. He looked scared and pale, a far cry from his Vagos persona. The courtroom overflowed with Vagos and curious spectators. Kyle's sat next to Twist's family. She blended in easily, unassuming, coy, amazing. They had no idea she was a detective, no idea she had been so instrumental in orchestrating the success of Operation 22 Green. They had no idea she was a detective, no idea she had been so instrumental in orchestrating the success of Operation 22 Green. No idea that she had so much to do with Twist being on trial for murder. Rhino's mother came to watch, too, perhaps to support her son, perhaps to support the club. She intertwined her arms through her young husband's headbutt. 30 years her junior, she connected with him mentally, even though by day she worked as a bank president and power play in the city council. She wore costumes well. Perhaps she needed both identities, yearned to live life on the edge with risk. Maybe she needed to wake from her numb existence and feel something again, however, misguided and confused. As Rhino exited, I shuffled to the witness stand. He had testified under duress, pursuant to a plea bargain for lesser charges and a reduced sentence. He had no loyalty or a sense of brotherhood for his fellow Vagos. He had a sense of self-preservation. They all did. The whole idea that the Vagos would defend each other, even die for each other, was bullshit. Code, club, colors was all an illusion and delusion. The seduction of being someone else was an addiction. Strangely, Rhino's twin brother, who had never been a Vago during Rhino's involvement, decided to prospect for the club after Rhino went to prison. But that wasn't the strange part. The truly bizarre footnote was that they allowed Rhino's brother to join it all, considering that Rhino became a snitch, and at one time the Vagos had put a hit out on him. The revolving door swung again, and in the end no one really cared about a person's past. They were all opportunists. They fulfilled the now. Loyalty was fleeting for them. But I had no question what my purpose served. Twist stared at me from the defense table, his gaze cold and penetrating and inhumane. A chill coursed through me as I recalled the night I had planned to kill him. As I raised my right hand to be sworn, the prosecutor moved in for the juggler. You used to be a drug dealer, didn't you? Yes, 1,000,000 years ago, I used to be a criminal.